Hi, I'm Julie Kratz, joining you to talk about how to make virtual teams work in the trying times during the coronavirus shutdown. Many teams are working virtually and remotely and asking questions about how to effectively communicate and work with one another. And the first key factor of successful and effective high-performing teams, even in the throes of crisis and sudden change, is trust. Trust is paramount, and trust begins within. So if you trust yourself, you're more likely to extend that trust to others. In my new crash course, I offer some tools around building up and assessing your own self-trust. How much do you take responsibility for your actions versus blame others? How much do you say, I messed up, I made a mistake, and own it as an opportunity to get better rather than blame others? How much do you empower your team to trust themselves and their decisions versus micromanaging their behavior? Self-trust is an important principle, as well as the 5 cohesive behaviors of a team. Patrick Lencioni has been teaching this model based on his book, The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. I think these are really rearing themselves in the workplace today. Trust-based leadership promotes healthy conflict, team commitment, peer-to-peer accountability, and those all-important results that we're looking for during these trying times. We'll talk about that and how to improve those foundations of trust-based leadership using those key principles, as well as overall vulnerability is a vehicle to build trust. Now, you have to have a little bit of trust to be vulnerable, and vice versa. It's very much a reciprocal relationship. There's no better way as a leader, as a team member, to build trust with your team than putting yourself out there first and saying things like, I don't know, I'm curious to hear what you think about this, let's solve this together, let's admit mistakes, let's learn from failures. Those are key messages around trust that leaders that are comfortable expressing their trust in themselves and in others and being vulnerable and practicing those key behaviors of a team do to promote an inclusive work environment where we can lead in the office as well as virtually very seamlessly. So join me for my 3-part crash course. We'll talk about trust, we'll talk about communication, and we'll talk about teams that foster inclusion. Check it out at nextpivotpoint.com.